Hi, this is Bob Weiss. I'm the host of Shaking Your World. Cheers.
Good afternoon. Another cooking class at Shakers. This one in preparation of the forthcoming dinner we have coming up on the Friday the 14th of August 2020 on our rooftop deck. Beautiful scene in the Milwaukee area. And I'm doing foods of the northern Spain and into Basque district, so Sansebastian, Santandere, Bilbao, maybe a touch of Barcelona as well, but really cool foods. And this dish I'm going to prepare for you is a Calmaressutinta. So Calmares, or squid, which is done in tinta with its own ink. Now, what I want to do is develop the ink sauce first, and with that, on our induction burners, a little bit of olive oil, the squid ink, thick, dense, viscous. That should be about the right amount. So I've got maybe a tablespoon and a half in there. I'm going to take a couple of garlic cloves. These were lightly marinating in olive oil. Just kind of bust them up a little bit, get more of the flavor to come out, a little sweetness is going to come as well. So just like that, into our oil with our squid ink. Sometimes you see this marketed as Cuttlefish ink. It's basically the same thing. Glass of a tomato reduction paste that we worked up earlier. About the same amount as you got for the squid or cuttlefishing. We keep this down to a lower heat. If you prefer to use just marinated tomatoes, you certainly can. Now, one of the recommendations I've got to drink along with this would be something like one of these two fine wines here. Very apropos for a summer condition, late summer, early fall. And we've got just two lovely little products here. So this is El Cotto, so Rioja, and I've got a Verdeo as well. So as I frequently say to people, don't cook with something that you wouldn't drink. We got about 2 ounces of this wine that's going to go in here as well. Now, one of the spins I want to do on here is I've got some roasted red peppers. Very ubiquitous the last 20 years. You can find these anywhere as a canned or jarred product. You can also preferably make your own. Just get some ripe red peppers, stick them in your oven on its lowest setting, usually as it's a jar, and let them set up. I like to do it overnight. The skin's going to blister. You put them in a brown bag and you rub it back and forth, and then you've got this just remarkable little product going on. So you have that to start with and see how we work ourselves into this. So at the moment we got a little olive oil, we have some tomato puree, we've got the cuttlefish or squid ink, we have some roasted red pepper, and I'm going to get a little bit more of that going in now as well. Little black peppercorn, kosher salt, oregano, and paprika. I'm going to hit the paprika twice. I think paprika is very important to this dish, as it is so much of the Spanish cuisine. So you will observe that when you get your hands on the squid ink, the cuttlefish ink, it is a little bit pricey. Using something like this, though, it will extend itself out. It'd be really nice. One thing I like to do is I like to take olives on this, and it's a little non-traditional. But if you take your olives and you just cut them, and you want to, there's a pit inside of these guys, right? So you just want to get one side squared off first, the table, and you work yourself then around the pit. You just flip them like that. And that's all you have to do with that. So we don't want a lot of olive in here. We just want a little bit that's going to carry some of the flavors forward. And we're just going to cut this down. Again, a coarse chop is really good for this. Now I'm going to let that sit in on a real low simmer. Over here, since we have it, I like to not waste things, so take some of the liquor from the roasted red peppers. That's in there as well. The Calmares is, of course, the squid. So you got these. We have tubes and tentacles. Tentacles speak for themselves, tentacles. And the tubes. And we're just going to cut these down in something about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch. You notice that there's a lot of tension here. It's almost like cutting a piece of rubber. So make sure you have a sharp enough blade and you're sure of your stroke. A chef's knife is beveled in such a manner that you would cut down and through like this, down and through. Okay, so the front to the back, down and through. Now there's a lot of moisture inside of squid. So we're going to make sure that we have an ample amount here for this dish. Speed is not what we're looking for. Keeping your fingertips attached is very crucial anytime using a knife. Is there a difference between the texture of young squid like this, the smaller pieces, and the giant squid? Well, yes, this is obviously going to be much more tender. Squid done right should never be something that has to be deep fried, or you can otherwise toss it across the room and it's going to bounce back just like a big piece of rubber. We're not looking for that at all. All right, so in the separate pan, olive oil, and the same spice that we used before. It's the oregano, the kosher salt, and again a healthy amount of paprika. Take a few more garlic. I just love garlic. It's synonymous to me with the Mediterranean, and I think that garlic a day is a good way to live your life. We'll let this get up to speed, and then once we're up to speed, we're going to get the actual calamari into the pan itself, and we're going to saute that, and then when that's just about done, we're going to add it into the squid ink, and we're going to build it up that way. It's a very simple dish. What I often do with this is that we will serve this just with fresh olives around the perimeter that have not been cooked with this, and it's delightful. If you want to infuse some other things, it's not unusual for this dish to have yellow onion in it as well. Again, the size you cut is not imperative. This. Just going to do this to boost up some of the flavors on this. Cooking is a serious business, but you should also be having fun with this. It's the kind of thing that you want to do with family, you want to do with friends, you want to get other people involved in this. So the other half is going to go here into the squid ink, and the other half is going to go into where the squid itself, Calmares, is going to cook. So for about 30 years, we've had these dinners on our rooftop at Shakers, and it's a beautiful, almost like a Soho kind of a site up there that's really unique for Milwaukee. And up until recently, there were not other venues that even had rooftop gigs. And now there are several that are on the scene. So you have some of the onion here. I'm going to increase the speed a little bit on this. Get this to cook a bit. If you have fresh herbs that you want to get into this, by all means, whatever works the best for you, whatever flavor combination that you're looking for is what you should be doing. All right, so our oil is hot. Our tubes go in. Maybe a touch more salt on there. the opacity and how the skin tone has changed on this. A little space in the center, a little more olive oil here. And now our tentacles go in. I have some trepidation about doing cephalopods for dinner, except they're so damn tasty because if you watch any of the nature programs, you see these things in the wild. They're constantly changing both luminescence and color. They have the ability to change even their own texture. They have the ability to rocket or come to a dead stop almost instantaneously. So both octopus and squid are, in their own way, though it's different than we recognize intelligence, are very intelligent species. So by doing this way, we've got two different textures going on. We've got the tubes, we've got the tentacles. It's going to be a real pretty display. So what I'm going to do with this is that in a moment I'm going to pull off the tentacles, and then we're going to take the tube portion, and the tube is going to go into the squid egg. Almost there. That's how incredibly fast this cooks. So the tentacles themselves will be, for all intent and purpose, a garnishment to the dish. Marry this all together. Increase the speed on that. Toss these back in this one just for a moment to keep them warm. I've seen this done where you can take cheese and melt cheese, the cheese of your choice here, like Panchingo or something else, melt that in, and then put this dish on top. You can do this the way it is as well. So there's a lot of options that take place here. People really enjoy both the aesthetic of this dish, the perceived wildness of this dish. The texture's rather unique. It's a lot of fun. So if you get away from some of the predisposed concepts you have about food, and you think about other cultures and the remarkable things that take place, open your mind, and you will cook better. You will enjoy life, I think, better and more. And let me just grab a little of the olives over here. So this will be representative of the dish that you would get on our rooftop at Shakers on the 14th of August, 2020. I hope you enjoy Calmaressutinta. Cheers.